If you've been following along on our adventures for the past 20 years, you know that horses are my first love, and that smaller livestock, well, they kind of come and go. My last big herd were alpacas. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of happy I don't have them anymore. Still got 2 fiber boys left, but they will be my last. With horses living on a track system, it leaves for a lot of pasture land that's open on my property that screams, "Put small ruminants on me." If alpacas are no longer an option, what's my next choice and why? Well, I'll tell you, I found myotonic goats. Oh my gosh, this is the animal for you if you have small acreage. So what were my reasons for picking a myotonic goat? Well, let me start with why I picked goats over sheep to begin with. And my number one reason is probably not going to be yours, but I have allergies to sheep. Like big time allergies. Break out in hives, my throat swells up. I cannot be around sheep. So first, I had to go with goats, since sheep were out of the picture entirely. Next up was fencing. I have a lot of existing fence out there, specifically for the horses, and when I had alpacas, that being field fence, hog panels, electric netting, wire fence. So whatever I was going to use had to stay within my current fencing structure. Goats, by and large, are notorious escape artists. They also will destroy anything that you put them in. So I had to find a goat that was going to stay where I put it. If you're not familiar, myotonic or fainting goat, when they get excited, tend to just bump off and keel over and pass out for a little bit. So if they were to try to jump out of their containment, they tend to get stiff-legged and don't make it. They will climb on a gate, but they're not notorious climbers either. So yay, myotonic goats tend to fall over, so keeping them in my current fencing, not a big problem. Next up, pasture. My farm is 11 acres, of which only 5 of it is mowed and fenced. Goats? Well, they honestly don't care about fancy groomed pastures. They're not grazers, meaning they don't put their head down and eat grass like you would see a horse, a cow, or a sheep. They're a browser, which means they like to eat up. They're going to eat tall grasses. They're going to eat at the top. They're going to want to eat brushes and trees and everything along those lines. They will climb up high to reach high into a tree. But grass is not their big thing, which is great because half of my property is just overgrown nonsense. To be able to utilize this, I have all that electric netting that I had with the alpacas, so I can fence off and have them run into the woods and eat that way. So it's very easy. I am starting to see parts of my property I've never set foot on before. It's like I have a really adorable landscaping crew. Next, it was all about the size and personality of the animal. We got milk goats, we got meat goats. The myotonic is actually technically a meat goat, but their personality, size, and the fact that they just, faint if they get startled, make them a great companion animal too. They're not that big. They are a meat goat, which means they have a lot of muscle compared to size. So they're kind of tiny. But they are a little heavy. The ones I have range between 50 and 75 pounds. And on a high end, you're going to have 100 pounds. But your 100-pound goat is still going to be under 2 foot tall at the shoulder. They're very compact. Most of mine don't even make it to my knees. They're adorable and cute. And I can put a ton of them on an acre of pasture. Right now, since I do rotational grazing through my pastures, I can run 7 to 10 goats on a quarter acre and then just keep moving them. Last up, when it came to picking the right animal for me and why I chose the myotonic goat over other breeds is survivability. A lot of livestock are known to try to bump themselves off, either, through being just klutzes or they can't handle their environment. Alpacas cannot handle their environment. Everything tries to kill them. Mainly things you can't see like parasites and coccidia. Myotonic goats are a pretty hardy breed. They are not known for getting too big of trouble in the parasite world. So barber pole, coccidia, and all those things that normally affect most goats are not heavily a problem in a myotonic goat. That does not mean you get to slack off on your husbandry skills. Rotational grazing, feeding off the ground, and the like will keep you out of trouble, but by and large, the myotonic goat tends to handle those parasitic problems a little better than most. In conclusion, the myotonic goat is the perfect backyard pet for somebody looking to get out of chickens and bring in their first livestock. They are fun, they are easy to contain, they have multiple purposes in just pure entertainment value and meat production. I've even milked them after kidding and gotten quite a bit of milk out of them, including heavy cream content, which is great for cheeses and butters, and soaps too. I hope this little tutorial helped you along to make the decision to bring myotonic goats into your new farm.